Just did another water change. Got a picture of a bucket I'll post, or the buckets. Tons of buckets. They're all looking pretty healthy and pretty happy. I fed them some uncooked shrimp. Put them up into little teeny tiny bites so most if not everybody can eat. I didn't see anybody that went without eating. They're all looking really healthy. Still a couple females I need to pull out. That's a female red empress. She's getting huge. There's a male red empress, but he doesn't color up very much. He also kind of has a little bit of a sideways mouth. I got a little baby red empress in there. I say baby, but he's a juvenile. A couple VC10s in there. I think one. He's younger than the one that's in the back. One of them's a male for sure. Just not sure which one it's gonna be. Pointed fin on this one. In the back, the bigger one, pointed fins. And we'll see what happens if that one colors up. This guy had color when I bought him. It disappeared, and now he's got rounded over fins, so I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. My crowning jewel, Venusis. Huge, chases everybody around. No real nips, so that's good. Just another water change. I even cleaned out the sump. I do that about once every other water change. Nice little wipe down on the inside wall. Try to get rid of some of the algae that develops. I have a tiny little sailfin pleco in here, so he eats fairly well. Dropping an algae wafer every now and then. A couple little pellets of food just to change up his diet a little bit, but he pretty much gorges on algae. There's snails in here too, I'm assuming. From the plants I bought, most of them were prepackaged, guaranteed snail-free, but everybody knows how that goes. And there's no guarantee against snails. But here they are, Staventi. He's really healthy. I pulled him out, put him in a bucket, and had to dose him with medication for a little bit there. He was looking a little beat up. Put him back in here. I think him and the Venusis chase each other around at night. They're the two biggest ones in here. He's a little bit smaller than a Venusis. But they, for the most part, get along. It's either going to be a bicolor or it's a red shoulder. Got him really young, started coloring up. It was marketed as a red shoulder, but he could just be a regular bicolor. Looking really good though. I just put him in here today. He was in my quarantine hospital tank for about, I don't know, about 2 months actually. Same thing with Star Sapphire. He started off in here, but he was just too small. He was getting pushed around, so I put him in the hospital tank. But now that there's a bunch of other smaller ones, I put him in here figuring he would be fairly good to go, and he seems to be so far. Just swimming around, trying to ignore everybody else. Female Frontosa's doing fantastic as always. She just hangs out most of the time. Everybody kind of leaves her alone. Taiwan Reef is looking really good too. He's always been colored up. The other male Venusis gets a little blue on the face, but he's just too much smaller than the other male, so he doesn't color up fully with that blue. He will eventually. He's getting bigger. I'm very fat right now. I gotta watch him. He just ate a bunch of shrimp. He's a pig. I think I'm gonna start feeding most of these guys every other day just to get them to avoid Malawi bloat. I changed up their diet, throwing a little spirulina too. Spirulina flakes, just to try to give them a little bit of veggies, push that stuff out, a little fiber. But we'll see how things go. They still are almost all fairly young. Oh, there's my Malawi tank.